Namaskar and welcome to our continued study of Patanjali YogSutra. As stated, we have completed the first two chapters and we are starting in the new year with the third chapter, which is called Vibhuti Path. We are learning about the Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga has eight sections or eight steps, and we saw first five up to the second chapter. And they are Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, then Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So five we did. Now, third chapter we starts with the Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So very important, great chapter for us to understand, and it takes us in the another world of human possibilities. So the first sutra of the chapter 3 is defines dharana. So desha bandha chittasya dharana. Only four words. Desha bandha chittasya dharana. Four words. So this here includes the place. Chitta means mind. Bandha means confining is dharana. When we confine our consciousness to a particular place, particular object, or particular idea, these three things, that is called dharana. Normal tendency of mind is to roam all over the place. It goes from past to present to future. It goes from any place and many places. And it also jumps at the same place. It is not steady. So that is called chanchal. God defines chanchal in Bhagavad Gita. No? Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. That is Arjuna says, God mind is so labile and so agile. So to control that is, I don't think it is possible. So chanchal means the thing that moves from place to place and at the same place. So mind, normal characteristic of mind is to move. When we confine the mind to particular place, particular object, particular idea, that's called dharana. Dharana is like a torch that instead of diffuse light, we are focusing on particular goal, particular subject. That is called dharana. So once we do dharana, then lot of possibilities are there. Means the power of the mind increases significantly. It is like the sunlight which is diffused all over the universe and we are able to see. But the same sunlight, if we focus it with the help of a convex lens, then those rays are focused on a particular spot, become so intense it can burn. It's the same thing with the mind. When the mind is scattered, it cannot think properly, it is not effective. When it is concentrated, it is extremely effective. So we want to know that so that we know what is dharana. We want to use this possibility or this faculty to our advantage. We have always used it. It's nothing new. So dharana we have always done, but we have done to multiple objects at multiple times all throughout the life. When we were children, we focused our mind on playing, we focused our mind on on studies, then mind on job, mind on making a career, mind on making money, making prestige. So we have focus, we have used these things. It's not new. But like mind is roaming, our goals are also roaming. That's why uh, we come empty hand. No? And plus our direction of focus was also not a permanent solution. So the worldly things are not permanent. Worldly things are always going to leave you thirsty. Worldly things you are going to leave it here. So those goals were wrong. No? But otherwise we know dharana. So after the life's experience, we learned that, that this trip was, not so effective or worthwhile. So there is a beautiful sloka in Upanishad. Our Upanishads tell everything which comes from Vedas. So Upanishads, in Mandukya Upanishad, it says, that after the life's experience. So it says pariksha. It comes in Mandukya Upanishad. Pariksha lokan, pariksha lokan, pariksha lokan karma chittan, pariksha lokan karma chittan brahmana. Pariksha means examining. After examining, pariksha lokan in this world, pariksha lokan, karma chittan brahman. Karma chittan means all your activities that you did, you are re-examining that. Pariksha lokan, karma chittan brahmana. Brahmana means a thinking man, the one who is pursuing Brahman is Brahmana. So Brahman. So pariksha lokan, karma chittan brahmano. Nirvedam. Nirvedam means then now he becomes unconcerned about what he went through. Nirvedam ayat. Then he should he concludes, and he should conclude that this was this was not worth pursuing. So let's see if there is any permanent goal that we should do. So Nirvedam ayat means you come to that conclusion. And then to get the higher knowledge, we got the worldly knowledge, tat vignanartham. To get that knowledge, sagurumeva vigachat. Go to the man of wisdom, Guru. Gurumeva vigachat. Samit Pani means in hands you the special grass which is called Samit means which indicates our readiness to learn and to be dedicated. Samit Pani to who? Kshotriya Brahmanistam, to the one who has studied the scriptures and who has realized God. That says Mundaka Upanishad. Means after going through the life's experience, one should come to the conclusion that you cannot get the things which by doing the work, and to get the real knowledge he must go to a guru who is Kshotriya Brahmanista. And when that goal is definite, and that is the goal of Patanjali YogSutra, to realize the bliss and peace and permanent goal. And that is that when we focus on that, that is dharana, used for a very higher cause. So that is dharana. So and that dharana essentially is a practice. It is a practice, is called dharana. We are practicing it like you want to learn driving. You are learning, and you are waiting for a instructor to come in a car and pick you up, and you are learning how to drive, and you are very attentive, and you spend half an hour, 1 hour to learn, and you do it repeatedly. That repeatedly doing it is dharana. So once you have done that, in the beginning, you are very scared, you are very concerned, you are looking for a brake, and you are looking for a clutch, and you are looking for the right and left, and you are nervous. But as the practice continues, you become better at it, and then automatically all your senses, all your motor senses, they work properly, and you can do it as a second nature. And after a while you can drive, you can text, not that we should do it, and you can eat a sandwich. What is that result of? That is the result of dharana, means continuous practice. So when the practice is done, to put the mind, at that time we focused our mind on nothing else, and we were very careful that no, don't miss a stop sign, don't miss a red light, or and all those things. So that was, we were doing practice or dharana, and once we become master, then we are in samadhi, means we are so good that we can do that like a second nature. So dharana is nothing else but practice. And Patanjali told us before about practice. That is in the first chapter. That is the verse number 14. We said, Satu Dirga Kale means that practice which is done Dirga Kale means in a long time, lifelong maybe. Satu Dirga Kale Nirantara means without interruption, Nirantara. Satkar Sevitam. And that also with a lot of joy and lot of readiness to learn. Not that, oh, that instructor is going to come again, I have to go for driving lesson. No, not like that. You're looking forward to it. Satu, Dirghakale, Nirantara, Satkar Sevita Dradbhumi. That establishes you in the whatever art, whatever goal you have in that. So that is dharana. Once you have done dharana, then it it takes you slowly to dhyana. Means dharana will culminate into dhyana. Dhyana means meditation. And that is defined in the sutra number 2. Tat pratyaya ekatanta dhyanam. 4 words. Tatra means with these effort, tatra, pratyaya means consciousness. With this effort, the consciousness, tatra, pratyaya, ekatanta means uninterrupted, like a one thread, ekatanta dhyana. When the consciousness is trained to remain in the confinement that we create for our goal, and it is not interrupted, that is there. Tatra ekatanta means uninterrupted. Tatra ekatanta dhyana. Pratyaya means consciousness. We are talking about consciousness. Very subtle thing. So our consciousness, instead of roaming in the past, present, everywhere, we are focusing on one goal and we don't let it move here and there. That is, takes you into dhyana or meditation. That is the definition of meditation. And that is very nicely explained on our scripture. How? So it is like pouring a oil from one container to another container. You want to move 2 liters of oil from one container to another. You pour that, and the way the stream of oil, uninterrupted, without splattering here and there, goes from one container to other, that way the consciousness should go from one place to other, from worldly thing to godly thing, from outside to inside. That is called dhyana. Uninterrupted. So beautiful example, and that comes in our scriptures. Ajyadhariya, that comes in Updeshar. Updeshar tells everything how to go in Samadhi and how to do it and what will happen. 30 verses only. We have done it before. I think we will do it again. So there it comes. Ajyadhariya srota samam sarala chintanam viralata param. Maharishi, as Ramana Maharshi says that. Ajyadharya means like a flow of a liquefied ghee. Ajyadharya srotasan, that stream. Sarala Chintanam means uninterrupted, continuous. Sarala Chintanam. Viralata Param. Instead of interrupted meditation, steady meditation on one object like a stream of oil is better. Ajyadharya srotasa samam sarala chintanam viralatapuram Veda bhav. And what do you meditate on? He tells Veda bhavanat soham ityaso bhavana vida pavani mata. Veda bhavanat means differentiation. When we think about God, we think, I am meditating on Lord Krishna. No, not that way. Veda bhavanat. Instead of that, soham ityaso, that I am He. So aham, sa means that God, Aham is called soham. Sa aham, Sandhi makes it soham. So soham ityaso. Bhavana vida pavani mata. That kind of meditation is better. Means you and God are one, that is a reality. You are meditating on that, that Atma is meditating on Paramatma. So Veda Bhavanat Soham Ityasa Bhavana Vida Pavani Mata. So he tells also what should be the subject of your meditation. So that when it is done uninterruptedly, it takes you into, that is meditation, real meaning of the word meditation. When you are in meditation and you train this doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen with the practice. So like driving happens with the practice, but the new driver, if you tell him, he won't believe you. But after a while, he will know that it happens. So same way, this meditation happens to everyone. You don't have to be a special yogi to do that. If Swami Vivekananda ji can do it, Sant Kabir can do it, we can do it. Only thing they tried, we are not trying. That's the only difference. So, but otherwise it is doable, achievable, and can be repeated like a science can be repeated. That if somebody teaches me how to do the angiography, and if I learn it and I do it, I will be successful the same way the other guy was successful. So that is the meditation. But these are the rules of meditation. So once you get into dhyana, you lose the body consciousness. Means you are not aware about surrounding, or you are out of body. Out of body doesn't mean that you are walking outside and your body is sitting here. Means you are not aware about your body or the circumstances. Example, you are watching a very beautiful movie. You have a 2-year-old baby at home. You decided to go for a movie. You are watching movie for 2 hours. For those 2 hours, you forgot everything and you were totally absorbed in the movie. And that time, the idea or the fact that your baby was at home or what was happening to her is not there. Means that time you were in samadhi or meditation, deep meditation. So meditation is almost akin to sleep, and it will take you to samadhi, which is a third stage. So but the step is from dharana to dhyana. Another example, I've seen this. When the cardiac surgeon, is operating on a patient, in the most delicate step of connecting one artery to another artery on a beating heart, he's so focused on doing that because it's a 2 millimeter. Needs to magnifying glasses, and threads are like thin like a hair, and he is attaching them. If he makes a mistake, it can cost a life. And for that time, for which takes 25 to 30 minutes to do what we call anastomosis, means joining the artery to the vein or vein and vein. That time, surgeon is so intensely absorbed that he's in samadhi. He does not know which nurse is standing in front, who is standing in the back, what's happening to his wife at home. He doesn't know anything. So that intense focus takes him into samadhi. Unless he is ready to do that, he can't be a good surgeon either. So, but that is practical example of dharana and dhyana. When that is done towards achieving the higher goal of realizing self, that is we understand from Patanjali YogSutra. So dharana, dhyan, and now samadhi. Samadhi is the result of these two processes, dharana and dhyan. Samadhi you cannot practice. Samadhi you cannot demand. Samadhi you cannot plan. It just happens. It's like sleep. You cannot plan. You just go to bed, you turn off the lights, you want to sleep, but you cannot force sleep on you. It just happens. Same way, samadhi also happens. You cannot force. So dharana, dhyan, samadhi. These three are the steps. And when it will happen, you don't know. So it is like a ice cube in a glass, in a water. When that ice cube dissolves and becomes water, you do not know. But when that happens, that's called samadhi. Sant Kabir, we are going to do Sant Kabir next week. So he says, very beautiful doha. जब दिल मिला दयाल सो जब दिल मिला दयाल सो तब कछु अंतर नाही पाला गली पानी भया जो हरिजन हरि माही. When your mind is focused totally on God and nothing else but God, because you realize the importance of that, that's why. Not that you're crazy, but you realize that that is the best and the highest goal to work for. So jab dil mila dayal so means God. Jab dil mila dayal so tab kachu antar nahi means there is no distance now. And what will happen? पाला गई पानी भया जैसे like a ice cube dissolved पानी हरि जन हरि माही. You will merge into God. But that you cannot force it. Another example scripture gives that you are adding alkali drop by drop to a container with acid. You are adding one by one drop and checking what's happening. So as you keep dropping the alkali to acid container, slowly, the container, recipient container becomes alkaline. A time comes when that acid content in the receiving container becomes alkali. And then you are adding alkali to alkali. There is no more acid. That is samadhi. Means your individual consciousness residing within us with meditation, you're focusing on cosmic consciousness, and when they merge, you are in samadhi. Samadhi doesn't mean that you become stiff and like a rock and sitting. Otherwise, that is not samadhi. Or if you see some big yogi sitting with the eyes closed, that is not samadhi. He's trying there. But real samadhi is that he loses his total identity 100%. When I can forget Atul Chokshi, this body, Atul Chokshi, this mind, intellect, these residents, and merge with the cosmic consciousness, that is called samadhi. Means dissolving ego. Means when there your I-ness or ego is dissolved, you are in samadhi. Not samadhi that, okay, every day I sit down at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll go in samadhi. No, that is effort, that is you're training your mind. So dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. But real samadhi, you have identified the highest truth that I am not this body, I am just a pure soul, and now you want to reverse the process. First, you identified with the body, means dehabhiman or consciousness, body consciousness we created, which is called ego. Now we are reversing this process deliberately by effort and turning it back, dialing back to Atman. That is called samadhi. Samadhi is not just stiff like sitting there, or samadhi sometimes Bhagwan Ramakrishna is showed in samadhi and he loses consciousness. But he is in a higher consciousness, means he is not concerned with the world. So for time being his mind is so absorbed, so it looks like he's in the other world, but they are always in another world because they have no consciousness of their own existence. When that I-ness is dissolved, you get a bigger I or God. So in asabaji aham taya, Sphurutirut Swayam Param Purna Sat. Raman Mercy. So ahami nas bhaji, when you destroy aham or I-ness by practice, repeated practice, ahami nas bhaji, aham taya, what happens? Spurti rutta swayam parama purna sat. The real uh, Atman or big I will blossom on its own when the small I is destroyed. So good. No? So that's why Sant Kabir again. Sant Kabir ji says the same thing. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, means as long as I was I. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, जब हरि है तो मैं नाही. Now the God I realize there I dissolve. प्रेम गली अति सांकड़ी, जामे दो न समाए. You cannot have two. So when you give up your I-ness, small I-ness, you get a big I-ness. So they said, let thy kingdom be. No, so but at the moment we are working on our own kingdom. So unless we dissolve our own kingdom, you cannot have thy kingdom. So that's what it is. So that is the real meaning of samadhi. Means instead of being aware about body and what is a small I is extremely selfish. So forgetting that means you are selfless. Swami Vivekananda ji very clearly said, being selfless is godliness and being selfish is worldliness. Simple, khatam. There is nothing more to learn. No? So when you dissolve that small I, you are in samadhi. And such yogis are not that they are sitting at home and just doing meditation all the time. They do it for their joy, but then they are ready to serve the world, and they go out and serve the world because their personal agenda is gone. So it is by practice. So dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Now we understand very clearly. I gave you examples. So dharana, dhyan, samadhi, they are like a string. These are three things: dharana, dhyan, samadhi. When it is woven, I could do this myself, like making a choti. So dharana, dhyana, samadhi, when three are woven, it becomes like a one string. And when you have done this repeatedly, morning and evening, every day, uninterrupted, with love, that is, then you attain the permanent goal. And that three together, the next verse says that is called sanyama. So the next verse is 3, 4, that's it. Trayam ekatra sanyama. These three in one. These three in one is called sanyama. Sanyama is a very common word. We say, no, he has a lot of sanyam. No, he's a sanyami man. No? Means he has control on himself. So dharana, dhyan, samadhi, these three when they are done, that becomes it becomes a sanyama. So that it becomes like a one steady, beautiful instrument that will get you anything you want. So Sanyama takes to vibhutis. So the man who has done these big yogis, they get special power, special intellect. It's called Rutambhara Pragna or higher intellect. So they develop that special skill, and that Sanyama takes to vibhutis. But for that, you have to give up the unnecessary worldly thing that you examine and you realize that it takes you, it's a zero-sum game, it doesn't take you anywhere. Those who decided, they are called thinking men, and then they want to do it, they go on this path. But for that, you have to give up on. Again, Sant Kabir says, beautiful. Just there are some duhas which are very common and we all know. But there are some which are very interesting and not so known to everybody. So it says, Cheeti chawal le chali. Cheeti chawal le chali means the little ant was carrying a grain of rice. चीटी चावल ले चली बीच में मिल गई दाल in between she comes across dal. So चीटी चावल ले चली बीच में मिल गई दाल. कहत कबीर दो ना मिले एक छोड़ एक दे दूजा डाल. एक ले दूजा डाल means you can either have worldly thing or godly thing. चीटी चावल ले चली बीच में मिल गई दाल मीन्स वर्ल्डली अट्रैक्शन दाल मीन्स कहत कबीर दो ना मिले एक ले दूजा डाल. टेक वन decide दूजा डाल and give of the other. If we are at liberty, you just continue to do what you have been doing and you will get whatever choice you make. But both are not possible. This is the meaning of that profound doha. So with this, when you do this sanyama means the yogovan dharana dhyan samadhi, that is sanyama, that will take you to now vibhuti, because we are entering the vibhuti yoga means special power. Means with this power your understanding is different than a professor of Harvard or means worldly man. Means you get Rutambhara Pragna by which you will understand the ultimate truth. A very bookish, brilliant man cannot by intellect understand that. It is only possible by the path recommended. So on spiritual path, following this instruction exactly the way we are talking about, one gets Rutambhara Pragna. So the verse 5th says, Tad Jayat Pragna Aloka. That is the verse number 5. Tad Jayat. Tat Jayat. Jayat means victory. Jay means victory. Jayat means the one becomes victorious. Tat Jayat Pragna Aloka. Special intuitive power you get. When you are doing these uninterruptedly and following all the steps. We started with yam, niyam, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So we are closer to samadhi. So your intuitive power of understanding increases tremendously. The scripture words become very clear and appeals to you, and your intellect does not give any resistance. So that is because now you develop intuitive power, and Lord Krishna says Buddhi Yoga. So God says, I will give you Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Ena Mam Upiyantite. God says that. In Chaturshloki Gita, he says, the one who is pursuing my path, Tesham Satat Yuktanam Bhajtam Priti Purvakam, Dadami means I will give. He gives. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yen Mam Upiyantite. So that such a seeker will come to me. He gives it. It's not in any books, or you cannot get it from, from universities. You only get it from Guru, one who has understood the scriptures, who has heard the scriptures, who has practiced the scriptures, and who has realized God. He can give, not secular knowledge. So, tad jayat pragna aloka means you get special intellect. Then the things become very lucid. And that is true. It is not somebody's idea, no? Or great masters like Shankaracharya ji wrote down. They did not write to misguide us. They wrote it to guide us, no? So with that Rutambara Pragna, now that yogi knows the ultimate truth, he has no doubt about that truth. He has no interest in what he sees because he knows that that is not real, that is illusive. And so he's bent upon attending higher and higher knowledge, which gives the bliss and peace. So instead of a wanting man or a grabbing man, he is a giving man. Because those things are not of any use. It's like you move out from Indonesia. That currency is no good to me. So currency is sitting somewhere in the closet because it's no good. So the yogi has realized that this worldly currency, for them the dollar is also same. So is useless, and that's why their focus is on the higher. There's got tajya pragna aloka. When you do these stages, these Rutambhara Pragna will come step by step to you, and you should use it and master it. So Tasya, that is verse number 6, Tasya Bhumisu Viniyoga. Means these Rutambhara Pragna, you will get it in stages and you should put it in practice by stages also. Tasya Bhumisu means stages, Viniyoga means practice. Means slowly you will get this knowledge, one after the other. So nothing will bother you, nothing can bother you, nothing can attract you, nothing can distract you, nothing can disappoint you. These thing changes will happen one by one. So what is the result? You are peaceful, blissful, no matter what happens. And then you are called Jivan Mukta. Now it says these three steps, they are called Antaranga. Trayam Antaram Angam Purvebhya. Now Mercyji clarifies that so far what we learn, these last three, that is Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, they are called Antaranga or inner steps, or which a seeker has to develop himself. He doesn't need anybody else. For first five, you need the world. Yam niyam you cannot practice unless you are in the world. I cannot be honest unless there is another person for me to be dishonest. I cannot steal unless there is somebody else has the things and I grab it. Means yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, all these you need the outside world. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, you don't need outside world. That is your internal equipment working on that. So Trayam Antaram Angam Purvebhya. Purvebhya means whatever I stated before, those five, these three are called Antaranga. Now he says Tadapi Bahiranga Nirbijasya. Now he clarifies that even these three are outside of Nirbij Samadhi. Nirbij Samadhi is the highest that can happen. Means there is no residue left in you and you attain the highest status. So that's called Nirbija Samadhi. Means there are no seeds. All the seeds of vasanas, previous impressions are roasted. That Nirbija, for that Nirbij Samadhi, even these three steps, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, are Bahiranga. That's what Sutra number 8 says. Tadapi means even these, means these three. Bahiranga, it is outside. Bahiranga, Nirbijasya, in comparison to Nirbij Samadhi, it is outside of that. And now Nirbij Samadhi means pure distilled water, no impurities at all. Pure distilled, like a rainwater. Sutra number 9 is very long, which there are 10 words. No? So which says Vithana Nirodha Sanskar Yorvi Bhav Pradurbhavo Nirodha Kshana Chintanvayo Nirodha Parinama. So many things. In simple language, like first we started this talk today, that mind is going everywhere and anywhere. That is its original nature. Subduing those vrittis, chitta vritti nirodha, it is samadhi. It is yoga. So chitta vritti nirodha, subduing those happenings of mind is called yoga. These things happen simultaneously in the mind. So sometimes mind is quiet, sometimes mind is disturbed, sometimes mind is going everywhere. And even in the beginning, the one who is pursuing yoga, these things happen. So this sutra says that these things, which is a clouded consciousness, then purified consciousness, moments of no thoughts, which we say the gap. When that gap is very extensive, that is takes you to samadhi. To explain better, like a old ink pot, there is some ink smearing the sides. You pour water on that ink pot, the blue ink and the blue water keeps coming out. You continue to pour water more and more, the water which comes out becomes less and less blue. A stage comes when all the ink from inside is gone and the water you pour is almost the same that the water comes out. Means the clouded consciousness is replaced by brilliant consciousness. That is that is that is the result of continuum process of dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So instead of our clouded consciousness, it becomes very clear. When? When you repeatedly do it with lot of love, without interruption. And the 10th verse says, Tasya prasant vahita sanskarat. This takes you to prasant, means serene, quiet lake. Tasya prasant. Prasant Mahasagar, very quiet, not stormy. Tasya prasant vahita means flow. Sanskarat means all impressions are subdued, disappearing, and quiet. So, chitta vritti nirodha, that results now is permanent and long lasting. Otherwise, now you must have heard in the yogas, they say, take a deep breath, breathe out. When you take deep breath and breathe out, there is a gap where there is nothing happening. Or say Om. After repeat, after stating Om, there is a quiet period, and that quiet period, lot of books teach us, focus on that and let that period be extended. But that is one process to quieten our mind, and the knowledge added is about self and non-self. And when that is all combined, you don't have to wait for a fraction of a second between two ohms to feel the peace. That permanent peace will become yours when you have deleted your ego. So that is what the real yoga takes you. But to go there, there are stages that you have to train your mind. It's like driving, like horse riding. The people who are expert in horse riding, you must have seen, they can ride on two simultaneously horses with both the legs and they can go. What is that from? That's from practice. Similarly, these all things are practice oriented. So if you have any question, you can ask. This is a very difficult concept to grasp, but if you focus your mind, then the things become extremely clear. Otherwise, when you take these 10 sutras in the beginning, they appear very difficult to understand. But day one, day two, day three, day four, day five, and they become clearer and clearer. And day seven, it becomes very clear for me, and then I come and present to you. That's it.
Thank you very
Ask,
much, Dr.
ask
Chokshi. It
any
was amazing.
questions. This is the
Very.
secret.
Wow.
This is the secret
Yeah. Very
of a
nice.
yoga.
Wow.
Wherever we put our mind, that's what we get. Whatever is your mind, that's what you become.
Yeah.
If your mind is on money, you will become, you will have money, or at least you will be worried about not having money. But you will be always worried, always with
Then
the
you'll
money.
very have to save the money.
So either you will
Okay.
get money or you will be sad for not having money, but your mind will be in money. Okay, ask any question.
Very interesting.
Very.
Um, Very, very interesting, and especially going back to those Ashtanga Yoga
Yes,
that you mentioned that Yam, Niyam, Asan, those are, and the Pranayam, those are external. Pratyahar is in between.
yes,
And at the end, Dhyan, Dharana, and Samadhi, you mentioned those are more of an internal.
yes,
And at the end, you are saying that when you reach to that stage of Rutambara Pragna, these three also becomes outsider. They are not internal forces either, because that stage you become, you have already, your vasanas are all gone. You have all the seeds are roasted. So you
yes,
become a nirbis samadhi.
yes,
So that's the ultimate.
yes.
Incredible.
I think
Just
that's.
incredible.
Yeah.
It is so powerful, my God, you go crazy.
Yeah.
But you have to read it repeatedly, you have to practice for yourself, and then you will have no doubt at all. And like I said, on first day, pick up 10 sutras. I don't go beyond whatever I'm supposed to do. So the next 10 sutras, you take then say, oh my God, what? Then you go and read, and you think. And with the background that we have cultivated over 5 years, you use all that assets and the things become very clear.
And it is true that if you really look at from beginning, as you mentioned also, Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that's the one of the main sutra.
Yes,
And here also you mentioned that ultimately is dissolving your ego.
yes,
So once your aham, you dissolve your ego and get out of this external things to cosmic consciousness, that will enlighten, just like you mentioned that ultimately you know it happened. As an example of the ice cube, I love that example, that
yes,
how it really melts and becomes one,
yes,
merges with the water itself, and
yes,
you don't know. And that
yes,
is how samadhi stage should occur. So it's
yes.
not like you will know, but you experience it automatically when the time is right.
All these things happen to individual yogi
Mhm.
and they get convinced. See, you have to get convinced yourself.
Yeah,
I have to get convinced that I know cardiology very well and I'm comfortable.
right, right.
Nobody else, somebody else can test me, but I have to be comfortable. So same way, it's that you understand these and you understood. That's why it is called Kshotriyam Brahmanista, means you are established in Brahman now. And such a person can transmit this information to another person easily. And they usually do. They are not selfish. The real saintly people are not selfish. They don't ask for anything, they don't want anything, and they give.
We are blessed. We
That's
are
what,
blessed to have you, boy.
yes, that's what Shankaracharya ji says. Santa Mahanto Nivasanti Santo Vasantavat. Lokahita charanta. Like they come like a spring. Why do you think a spring comes? Vasantavat lokahita charanta. Tirana swam bhiva bhavanam. They have already crossed and understood. And for no rhyme or reason, they are distributing this knowledge to others. That is called Santa Mahant. That is the definition of a Sant. Why do we remember Sant Kabir after 700 years? Or why do we remember Swami Vivekananda after 100 years, 200 years? Because of their contribution to mankind.
Selfless act, yagnik
And
work.
how did they become? Swami Vivekananda was a regular college student,
Yeah, yeah.
very doubting.
Very.
And he was very logical, but then he became one of the greatest yogis. And all these things that we discuss are written in Raj Yoga.
Mm.
There are 7 or 8 books that I refer to
Mm.
related to these topics, and each one gives you special clarity. You read about Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, you will get it from Ramakrishna Paramhans, you will get it from all the yogis. You will get these points, and then it becomes your own library. It's like cardiology. I learned from 100 sources, not one
Yeah.
or two books. So many teachers, so many books, our own experience, and put it together. Same way here.
I
Well,
remember
I have a
somebody.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
When you say Kshotriya Brahman, what does it mean?
Kshotriya means the one who has heard the scriptures very well. Brahmanistha means he is established in God. He has no doubt himself. He has experienced it. He has no doubt. And he has read the scriptures. In the old times, the scriptures were being transmitted by Guru to Sisya by verbal transmission. There were no computers, there were no typewriters. So it came by listening. That's why our scriptures give more emphasis. He's very well heard. They
Mhm.
don't say he's very well read, he's very well heard. That's what Kshotriya means. Kshotriya, Brahmanistha. These are the two qualities of a real guru.
Thank you.
Any other
I like
question?
the
Kalpana ji, any question? No. Mala ji, Kalpana ji, all, yeah, all of you.
right.
No, asking question clarifies everything. And all the answers are given by God.
Yeah.
That's why I feel very bold. Ask anything, Not that I know the whole world, but this is all stated in in a little scripture called Bhagavad Gita.
Like you
And
said, it's
sometimes,
Any question, I can tell you, any question, worldly or godly, is answered here.
and when you say Prashant,
Yes.
Pra is increasing the stage of Shanti.
Yes, you see, you knew, so you have to contribute this. So that's why there is a name of the ocean which is very quiet. It's
Prashant,
called
right.
Prasant. Prasant manasim ienam yoginam sukam uttamam upeti sant rajasam brahma bhutam kalmaksham. That is that's
So
a God explains. That
it's so
God explains.
it's so funny that the person's name is Prashant and he's the most angry guy.
Yeah, but forget about the world. Now you are at a stage where you want to forget all those kind of guys. You don't want to even waste time because you have very limited time. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, no? So you want to use time for real things. You don't want to say there are people who are nasty there, and there are people who are very
You
cruel,
are
all kinds of
absolutely
people.
right.
Yeah,
Correct.
but we so what does Sant Kabir says? Don't pay attention to them.
I'm just
So
joking.
another doha, कबीरा खड़ा बाजार में सबकी मांगे खैर न काहू से दोस्ती न काहू से बैर. You, God bless you, go whatever you are doing, God bless you, but don't bother me. Essentially he's telling that, no, but he contributes to them because they are children of God. That's why he's contributing to them, but he doesn't want to waste time. That is called satsang. So this Kabir ji again says, Kabirata se sanga karo. Yes, you be in company with the people. Kabirata se sanga karo, jore bhaje satnam. Raja, Rana, Chhatrapati, Naam bina bekam. They are useless. Even a senator comes to Alpine, I'm not going to see him. I say, okay, you are a great man. Hope you are doing right. But Raja, Rana, Chhatrapati, Naam Bina Bekam, without a God realization, they won't be of much significance with their limited consciousness, and because that is contaminated consciousness. So sooner or later they will do something wrong. Got it?
Yes, we are so
So,
lucky to have you in our life. Sadar Pranam.
I'm so glad that I'm able to contribute to you. And like I said, wherever we put our mind, we get it. You put mind on money, you will get plenty of money. That field also I know pretty well now. I can say that you focus on money, you can make money. Money is a resource. Everybody needs it. So the God doesn't say that okay, don't be a poor and a beggar. God says make tons of money and use it for good cause. That's God says. He doesn't say go with the empty bowl, no. So making money means maybe, understanding an art, understanding that profession, wherever you are, how to use it for good cause. That is very well recommended. No, that is called swadharma. That is called swadharma. We all are assigned swadharma. Somebody is assigned to be a carpenter. Somebody is assigned to be a gynecologist. Somebody is assigned to be a businessman. And we see that, in one group, I'll show you 20 people.
I have to make a comment here. I think
Yeah.
with what's happening in the world in these days, actually, I've fallen more in love with my Hinduism.
With what?
With
Hinduism.
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 Yeah.
Hinduism.
Yes, there is nothing like that. That's why I'm saying I'm
Vishnu
distributing the
Kutumba.
books now.
Right, Vishnu Kutumba, the whole world is a
Yes.
family. If
Uni-
that's what everyone else thinks, we will not hurt anybody.
so it's a
So
universal
why,
acceptance only.
right?
But, but,
Yeah, it's
but,
not
but
tolerance, it's acceptance. Absolutely right you are. So what
yes,
I'm
we,
trying
we
to
are
say is,
proud of every other religion, not that we are accepting. I love the Christianity as much as I love the Hinduism because
right,
they all teach you the same thing, no? And you want to learn from
everyone.
different religions. That's why our greatest sutra says, Ano Bhadra Kratu Antu Viswata. Let the noble thoughts come from all
All the
directions.
direction.
Anu
Nice.
Bhadra Kritvo Antu Viswata. Let all the noble thoughts come to me, whether it is Zoroastrian, whether it is Christianity, whether it is Hinduism. And we are blessed to be born in India and Hinduism. And we are not proud of it. So we should be proud of it in a right sense and preserve it and propagate it.
My dad used to say that Ano Bhadra.
Yes.
Let the noble thoughts comes to you in any direction.
Yes, from every direction. Yes.
Well,
Atul,
we
on
need
a
to have
side,
another Sant or another Vivekanand in this era to teach the world what
Yeah,
ego
but we
means.
don't pay attention to them. There are a lot of great saints even now, but we
yeah.
don't pay attention. We are contaminated, and some people are worse than the others, and then they become prominent and big mouth, and they will subdue the good people. That also Sant Kabir says.
Yeah.
कबीर कहत कबीर उल्टी देखी रीत चोर और पापी राज करे और साधु मांगे भीख।
Weak.
Mm.
कबीरा कहे उसके इस संसार में उल्टी देखी रीत चोर उचक के राज करे और साधु मांगे भीख. So that was must be happening even in that time. You know how many people tortured Sant Kabir in that time. He had so many enemies, and they tried to kill him several times. 52 times he was tried to be finished, But that's why we remember him. Nothing happened to him.
Thank
So,
you,
so,
Dr.
so
Chokshi.
when we do the Kabir, one of us will talk about his life, and these are called miracles. So these are because God protects such people. God protected Mirabai, God protected Tukaram, God protected Vivekananda. So God protects them.
On a light note, Atul, I cannot still get it out of my head that poor Chinty cannot make khichdi. She can either make rice or she can make dal. I can't get that off my mind. That poor
No,
little
but
Chinty.
that chiti is okay with a grain of rice or grain of dal, but you can't have everything. That's what it says.
See, I love khichdi because I couldn't get that out of
Okay, if you
my.
confine to khichdi,
Because
you
you're
are the
not
happiest
cheating.
lady. You are the happiest lady. You can maintain in $1 a day.
Just a joke. Just a
No, no,
joke.
no, that's,
Thank you
but, no,
so
but
much.
by giving that little example, he says that you cannot have worldly thing
Everything.
and godly thing simultaneously.
Right. Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
अनदर दोहा जब तक नाता जगत का तब तक भक्ति न होए नाता तोड़ हरि को भजे भक्त कहावे सो as long
Mm.
as you are immersed in the world you cannot be a real bhakta जब
Mm.
तक नाता जगत का तब तक भक्ति न होए नाता तोड़ हरि को भजे भक्त कहावे सोए that is a real thing.
Mm.
सेम थिंग ही सेज जब तक नाता शरीर से तब तक भक्ति ना हो एज लॉन्ग
Mm.
एज यू आर बॉडी कॉन्शियस यू कैन मीन्स बॉडी कॉन्शियस मीन्स एज लॉन्ग एज यू ईगो यू कैन नॉट गेट
Mm.
ego is extremely selfish and you are selfish so you are going to use all your time and all your resources for only you. You are not going to part with your resources, no matter how intelligent or how billion or how much money you have, you will not part. The parting happens only with the spiritual
So
knowledge.
we'll end our session by reciting our shloka. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnmadaya Purnmevavashishyate Om Shanti
Shanti.
Shanti
Very
Shanti Om.